What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday Scale News Update. This week we had a handful of topics. Let's jump right into it. This week, Axial finally officially released that C10 truck body that they had teased months ago. Now this truck, I believe, is a 12.3 inch wheelbase as opposed to the 12 inch wheelbase that the Axial Blazer body is. It does share some of those front plastics on the body with the Blazer though. There has been a little bit of criticism versus the C10 and K10 with the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, but overall, I think it's just a nice looking body, another option. We do have other C10 bodies that have been available in the past, multiple wheelbases, but this one looks like probably the most well done. I'll put a link in the description below with the most information I can find on the product. Knights Custom has released some pictures of a new engine bay they've done for the Axial Blazer as well. This has an LS style engine cover placed underneath there with the regular inner fender wells, firewall, and a lot of other details to kind of sell that design. Now it does look like you need to cut the hood so you can open it and show off that detail, but if you're really looking to add some scale detail, looks like a nice starting spot. And again, links in the description below to that product as well. RC4WD Drive showed pictures of two new Goodyear tires they were releasing. One is a mud terrain style and one is an all-terrain. The all-terrain is a Wrangler, and the sidewall detail on this tire is the most detailed I've ever seen on a scale tire. Really fine lines, like down just to the fine details of what a tire like this you would see on the street really is. It's just insanely impressive details on these tires. I don't have a lot of rigs that I normally use an all-terrain on, but these tires look really good. I feel like I need to get a set in hand just to see all of the details on them. Pretty impressive from the initial pictures that I've seen so far. The mud terrain option looks really good as well. It's just that all-terrain really stood out to me with how much detail they put into those tires. I'll put links to both tires in the description below. And to round out the week, FTX released the Kanyon 1/10 scale ready to run trail vehicle. Now this is an interesting truck. You've probably seen the name FTX around before. They do have vehicles that you've often seen then sold under different names through different brands. I think that they're just mainly buying vehicles as OEM from overseas and putting their name on it. This is common. We see it a lot of different times, but this one is not one that we have seen before. It's a kind of conglomeration of different styles and parts that are used in different ways. It has more of a comp crawler style chassis with these big extensions bolted on to support the bumpers, but they look like they're only screwed to the chassis with a couple of screws, so it seems like those bumper extensions are going to be really not very well supported. I would have major concerns about the durability of that side. And then the body itself has got, it's a Land Rover Defender style. It's got some really weird proportions overall, and it looks like it's kind of been squished down. We see these weird proportions in a lot of situations, so it's not that surprising. There's a lot of other familiar parts about this. The tires are almost exactly like an Axial ripsaw. The beadlocks are basically a trail-ready beadlock from the Axial stuff. FTX also had a version of that lockjaw or hammer jaw or whatever it was called that was released a couple of weeks ago through Horizon Hobby. So again, we're just seeing parts reused in different ways that they obviously had available. It also has trailing arms on it, but they're not actually using the trailing arm. The shocks are still mounted from the chassis to the axle rather than the chassis to the trailing arms. But we do have solid front and rear axles, and it does have CVD front axle shafts, so steering angle shouldn't be too bad. The cost on it's not bad, listed at 179 pounds. Have to do the conversion and see exactly what that comes out in USD. Shows that it'll be available August 31st, so if you're really interested in it, I'll put the link in the description below. But that's all we have for the news for this week. Again, prepping for Axial Fest over here. Hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys there. Definitely stop by the Makers booth if you're gonna be there. I'll be there from Wednesday to Sunday. So looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. But with that, guys, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you on the next one.